Includes the top partners in the industry. We're talking the leading solutions, technology, software, and service partners across the globe. The ones that can help you lead, grow, simplify, connect, and secure your business. I'd like to introduce Francis from Bayshore Networks to talk to you today about cybersecurity for the industrial. Is it IoT?
Internet of Things.
There you go, the Internet of Things.
Okay.
Francis, take it away.
Thank you. Okay, so usually when I do these, I speak off the cuff, but it's a lot harder to speak for 10 minutes than for an hour, so I actually wrote it out. And my name is Francis Cianfrocca. Francis is perfectly fine. And we're a technology company based right here in New York City. We've been a Cisco partner, technology partner, for going on 2 years now, and we've got major customers among the Fortune 100 and governments and global NGOs. And so at Bayshore, what we say is total network visibility starts with better content and better protocol support. So you're going to see how this connects in with our Cisco partnership in a moment. But what we do, okay, what our business is we make network devices, okay, that are inline network devices that are content aware, protocol agnostic, and extremely fast, far faster than the competition. So anything that goes through a wire, be it in a data center or at the access layer, okay, we can inspect it, dissect it, filter it, apply policy to it, and report on the exceptions. So that's what we do. Okay? Think about malware detection, layer 7 firewalling, network DLP, and in the Internet of Things, machine-to-machine communications, industrial protocols, we're very strong there as well. So in enterprise apps, okay, what we do with content inspection, content-aware and protocol agnostic means much more than just filtering web and email, like a lot of security products do, and more than just metadata. We look at protocols like SMB and CIFS, network file shares, NFS, FTP, and other protocols as well, and we can recognize documents based on any kind of content at all. That includes files within files, spreadsheets inside of PDFs, files inside of archives. We can pick all that stuff apart and apply policy to it on the fly. Okay. For industrial applications, that means protocols like Modbus, Ethernet IP, and DNP3, and IEC 61850, and all that sort of stuff, as well as various SCADA protocols. And we have our platform, and also makes it possible for customers to define their own protocols, because in industry, a lot of that level 7 communication stuff is custom. Okay. Anyway, so for the Internet of Things, the new thing that you're hearing about, all the hype about IoT, and Cisco, of course, is very committed to the IoT. Mr. Chambers himself has said to Wall Street that it's a $19 trillion market, which is larger than the GDP of the United States. So he knows something. He knows something we don't know. But that means protocols like XMPP, MQTT, AMQP, and things that if anyone is interested in IoT, you've heard about this stuff. For IT practitioners, it's still pretty unfamiliar. But when we talk about content-aware protocol agnostic, that means that we can detect and filter control signals as well as set points, not just security stuff and not just network metadata. Okay, so that's why we talk about safety, security, and operational policy. It's a lot more than just the security. So how do we work together with Cisco's ISE, pxGrid, and TrustSec? Okay. Well, think about it. We do content inspection. All right. Cisco with ISE and TrustSec and pxGrid, they provide endpoint identity, okay, device type detection, security posture detection, session metadata. That's context. Okay. So what we did is we incorporated Cisco's dynamic context data from pxGrid directly into our policy engine. Okay? So if you take context and session metadata together with deep content inspection, you've got a complete, coherent, and incredibly powerful level 7 access policy. Okay? For enterprise apps as well as industrial apps. We, Bayshore Networks, we are the very first company other than Cisco that implemented TrustSec. Okay? So if anybody I've talked to some people today that are interested in SGTs. Does anyone know what an SGT is? A Cisco context? Security group tag? Okay, that's a key part of the Cisco protocol for transmitting security information through a network, a big part of their strategy for overall network maintenance and management. Okay, so we directly support their tags in the Ethernet frames. Okay, so here's a really simple example. It's backwards. Imagine in your company, all right, you may have a policy that says BYODs are not allowed to access certain kinds of confidential content. Right? That's pretty reasonable, and it's a pretty coherent thing to want to be able to do to control access by devices that may have a less than complete security posture, right? So how do you do it today? All right. Cisco ISE, of course, gives you complete visibility and type detection for those devices and can tag their traffic. That's great. So you now can segment the network based on that device type. But that's a very crude approach. Okay? And think about when you change your content, when you change your network structure, when you change your applications, you're constantly rewriting that policy and managing exceptions. Wouldn't it be interesting if you could just say, if I'm a BYOD, I can only access certain kinds of content, and I want to exclude documents that contain confidential indicators or metadata that you define yourself. That are specific for your own company. Okay, so we've got a lot of use cases where we're doing this, and the example here is device connects. Cisco ISE gives that device a particular group tag. It passes through the network on its way to a Windows file server. Okay, tries to read a document. The Bayshore product in the middle of the network stream parses the document coming off of the file server, okay, in SMB or CIFS or NFS or email attachment or web server, and can detect that it matches one of your confidentiality indicators. And based on the security group tag, which comes from Cisco ISE, we can either transmit that file or not. It's direct, highly granular, content-aware filtration based on the Cisco context metadata. Incredibly powerful idea. It's going to make your life so much easier if you're trying to do this kind of control with segmentation. Okay, this is a much more granular approach. Let's take an industrial case. This is a real use case that we just did with one of Cisco's. We partnered with Cisco, so we did this together with them, and the customer is a Fortune 10 manufacturing company. A lot of you probably use their products, you probably drive their products. And think about assembly robots, assembly line robots, okay? If you want to do zero downtime or predictive maintenance, you want to have access directly to the shop floor through the internet. You can see the security problems. You can see why this has never been done before, okay? What the customer said was, yeah, ASA, fine, VPN, we know how to do all that stuff. Add ISE to it, great, we get some authentication, we get some authorization. That's all fine, not good enough, okay? Because we care more about security down here at this robot, we care about safety, okay? So there is a well-known safety rule in manufacturing systems called line of sight, okay? Let's say you send a control signal to a robot and makes the robot do this, and there's a man standing there, and you just cut his head off. You see the safety problem. So the rule is line of sight. Any kind of control signal that you send to a piece of industrial equipment, like a manufacturing robot, you have to have your eyes on it, okay? So that means, in this example, the customer wanted us to make sure that none of the signals coming through the network, even after passing through VPN and ISE authentication, were right signals. They only wanted to allow certain reads to diagnostic registers to enable fine-grained diagnostics and zero downtime and predictive maintenance. Okay? So what we did is we're in line with the traffic. We parse the content, and it's actually a proprietary RPC protocol that we were able to support very quickly. It's part of our platform. And the traffic comes through tagged with the ISE tags from that particular vendor, the capital equipment partner. Okay, so we know it's who they say they are, that's fine, but we also look at the traffic to make sure that it's reads but not writes. Okay, so that's how we enforce that case, and this has been a real success. And by the way, the amount of policy statements in the Bayshore device that implements this is 2 statements. One says, if SGT equals, 2 says, allow this range of transactions. So it's just really great. and really, really graceful. So Cisco plus Bayshore business benefits. On the industrial side, securing production zones, creating safety as well as security policies, better compliance for predictive maintenance. For enterprise applications, network DLP, such as you've never seen it before, with more granularity, more power, and more speed. Stop rogue insiders, okay? Mitigate the AP3 threat, find compromised hosts, and block disallowed traffic. So those are our contacts, and there's a demo where it says threat-centric security over there. Some of the folks from Cisco are demoing our solution together with ICE. You're invited to come and have a look. You're invited to come up and grab a business card. And is anyone here who works for a company where you're either using ICE or thinking about it? Is anybody? Okay, so right. Anybody who's working on ICE needs to take a look at the Bayshore partner solution because it's adding value. It's an extension to the capabilities of ICE. So you want to have a look. And that's it. Thank you. Did I get it in under? Yep, I got it in under 10 minutes. Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate it.